To be perfectly honest, it was the oddest relationship. It was the strangest relationship. Larry wanted to own Randy. He wanted to tell him when to jump and how high. It wasn't a buddy relationship. I don't think Larry was capable of being someone's buddy. It wasn't a best friend relationship either, and that really bothered Larry. Randy's best friend has always been Ray Ware, his manager. They met in kindergarten, and Randy used to say, he said once on stage, Ray Ware is my best friend. I wrote this song, Venezuela, about him, and he's now my manager. We've been best friends since kindergarten. As a matter of fact, he used to get 20% of my lunch money. And I thought, oh, that's the funniest thing he said in a long time. So he, I think, continues to use that. But Larry had a real problem with that. He had a real problem that Randy would not state publicly that he was his best friend. And he wanted to tell Randy what to do, when to do it, and who to see. By the time I met Randy, he was quite aware that Larry was a problem and had problems and caused problems. Yeah. Okay. When I married Randy, Ray Ware, Randy's best friend since kindergarten and his manager still to this day, took me aside and said, Sandi, if you want to have any semblance of a normal marriage, a normal relationship with Randy, you gotta scoot him away from Larry. Because Randy was still struggling then. He had so many threats from Larry about leaving street level and going with another company. There were several Christian record companies that that were interested in signing Randy. And Larry could always get to Randy. There's a real naivete about Randy. There's a real little boy heart in Randy, and Larry used that to his advantage. He used it to his advantage. He pounced on it. He would send letters, famous for his letters. And if Larry was afraid that Randy was going to tell the truth in an interview, he would say, go ahead, but I'll take you down with me. So there was always that threat, always. And that threat was there to the guys in Daniel Amos' band, to Tom Howard, to Mark Hurd, to the nicest people I've ever met. It was just so difficult to handle because I knew that I had to be careful what I said, and I had no voice. Larry, this is before computers and the internet, but Larry was great at publicity, getting publicity for himself, and he had a voice. I had no voice, and it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating because I felt like he wanted to cause trouble from the moment he found out that Randy and I were dating. Innuendos came in letters. I wish I'd saved all the letters. I have some locked away, but I don't have all of them. But threat after threat after threat, veiled threats, but they were threats all the same. And it was always, you're nothing without me. You're nothing without me. And the ironic thing is, Randy's an amazing songwriter. He's an amazing poet. And he's got a good voice, and he's much more talented than Larry was. And Larry knew that. Larry knew that.